in super form. She's only run one bad race, and that was in the Breeders' Cup Mile Turf, the Filly Mare Turf, I should say. So if besides that, she has just been an incredibly consistent mare, and she's been working well coming into this race. So I don't expect anything different from another top performance from her.
Knee Blanche, the 7 just went by for Leo Powell. This is another one. If you say one who's been consistent, this is one who's been facing some pretty tough customers over the last couple of years, and most recently seems to be on the upturn.
Yeah, she's run against going to Vegas before. She's, Neige Blanc, this 5-year-old mare. I think she's been stuck in some paceless races. If she gets a really strong pace, the cutback for her to 1.25 miles should really work in her favor. If she does not get a strong pace, this just might be a tad short for her best, but she looked fantastic walking over to get saddled.
Can you make the case for the 5 Key Flower? This one for Team Valor, I think, is an interesting horse.
Yeah, I loved her off her work on XBTV before she ran in this in the Southern California here, and she won with Pratt that day. She'll get Abel Cedillo this afternoon. I haven't been able to see enough of her works to see really if she's a filly that's stepped forward off of that, because she would have to.
On her toes right now is the 4 Closing Remarks for Carla Gaines, third last time out in the Buena Vista.
Lone Calbred in this field, and she, again, is another very consistent, very talented 4-year-old filly.
And of course, the 6 Queen Goddess there for Eclipse Thoroughbreds, a winner 2-back at the American Oaks right here at Santa Anita in a race that was taken off the turf. So there is your field going postward, 10 minutes to post the Grade 3 Santa Ana coming up.
Jay Cohen brings them out for the Grade 3 Santa Ana Stakes, scratch 1, Disappearing Act. Here's the field. Number 2 is Charges Dropped, owned by Cheyenne Stable, trained by Michael McCarthy, and ridden by Mario Gutierrez. 3 Quiet Secretary is owned by Clark M. Cooper Family Trust, Lawless Nunez et al. Ian Cruiljak trains, Tyler Bays rides. 4 is Closing Remarks, owned by Harris Farms, trained by Carla Gaines, the jockey Joe Bravo. 5 is Keyflower, owned by Team Valor International and Barber, trained by Leonard Powell. The jockey is Abel Cedillo. 6 is Queen Goddess, owned by Eclipse Thoroughbred Partners and Tolo Thoroughbreds, trained by Michael McCarthy, the jockey Victor Espinoza. 7 Neige Blanche is owned by Madaket Stables, De Seru, Nafi et al. Leonard Powell trains with Juan Hernandez. 8 Going to Vegas, owned by Abundanza Racing, Medallion Racing, and My Racehorse, trained by Richard Baltus with Umberto Rispoli. And completing the field, number 9, Carpe Vinum, owned by My Racehorse and Platts, trained by Phil D'Amato with Ryan Curatolo. That's the field for the Santa Ana Stakes. 8 minutes. It's post time for the Grade 3 Santa Ana Stakes. Moving into line. Rider is off Keyflower. Closing remarks and going to Vegas, walking up. Carpe Vinum to the outside. They're in the gate. And they're off in the Santa Ana. Quiet Secretary is going out for the early lead, hugging the rail and opening up a couple of lengths. Queen Goddess came away in the top flight too, and on the outside it's going to Vegas with Neige Blanche. Charges Dropped is on the fence. Just behind them it's Closing Remarks. Keyflower, who was off half a step slowly, is now a little bit keen, and Carpe Vinum will do her running from behind. They're covered by 12 lengths by the stands the first time, and it's the long shot Quiet Secretary with a 4-length lead. Queen Goddess second. Going to Vegas settles in the perfect spot third, and Charges Dropped is just inside of her. Then comes Keyflower on the outside of Neige Blanche. Closing Remarks is next, and Carpe Vinum. Around the clubhouse turn, and Quiet Secretary widens even further. It's about an 8-length lead. Queen Goddess second by 4. Going to Vegas, biding her time in third, with Charges Dropped and Keyflower side by side, and Neige Blanche is just behind that pair. Then Closing Remarks, and Carpe Vinum is still at the back. Less than a half-mile to go, and Quiet Secretary has been loose throughout. 6-length lead on Queen Goddess second. Going to Vegas, not giving her cue just yet. On the outside comes Keyflower, and Charges Dropped. Now, there goes Closing Remarks, starting to pass horses while 3 wide as they start to sprint for the wire. Quiet Secretary's lead diminishing. On the outside, Closing Remarks. Keyflower is in the mix too as they straighten up for home. Queen Goddess has taken the lead. Closing Remarks down on the inside, going to Vegas, needs to get off that rail. Coming to the 16th, and Queen Goddess running a giant race, has a 2-length lead close to home, and it's going to be Queen Goddess to win the Santa Ana. Tight photo for second between a Closing Neige Blanche and Going to Vegas. Closing Remarks was next, and then Keyflower. Six, Queen Goddess was first. It's a photo for second.